What's going on, everybody? It's QBZ. I wanted to bring you my initial thoughts on the weapons update for December, how it has affected my playstyle and how it might affect yours. This isn't necessarily a full overview. You can get that anywhere, basically anybody telling you exactly what happened. However, this is just my initial impressions and how I can tell that my game has changed, and it has very much so. The meta has changed as well. My meta has changed greatly, and I can tell this is definitely something that's going to affect a lot of Guardians personally in the Crucible. But first, I would just like to go over a few notes that I had came up with. I played a few matches, and I'm just basing everything of this off what I experienced in those few Crucible matches. I didn't want to cover everything in general, such as covering handguns, sniper rifles, fusion rifles. I didn't really want to go into that. Everybody knows what this weapons update about. It is containing to pulse, shotgun, and pretty much that's it. That's pretty much the main crux of what this update is affecting. But first part of my notes is to let you know that you can definitely feel the nerf on shotguns and pulse rifles. They really hit it hard. They were really targeting the Hawksaw, and shotguns, they were really targeting shotguns like the Chaperone, high fire rate, quick aiming. They also took a good look at trying to nerf the Conspiracy Theory D. Of course, as you know, the final damage drop off is 0.5 meters longer for a smoother drop, and they also reduce the damage to fall off to be around melee ranges. So this essentially is just making it a little bit easier for characters who don't main shotguns to be able to stand toe to toe with shotguns and not go a little bit further off. One of the things I noticed with the shotgun is that they are still quite effective and deadly, but the range is just diminished greatly. But when you think about how much of the percentage in which they dropped off for shotguns, the percentage change isn't going to be as big as, say, pulse rifles, because the range was so small together. Like 10% off 10 meters based off 10% off 100 meters. You know, it's going to be a 1 meter to 10 meter difference. You know, it's going to be a huge difference. I expected it with shotguns. Shotguns, they definitely aren't as nerfed as I thought they would be. Now, what you should do is basically you shouldn't just go run out into open spaces with a shotgun. Even if you did that pre this update, say yesterday, you still wouldn't have much success running and chasing people with a shotgun anyway. But now it's even more pertinent that you need to actually use a shotgun as a secondary and not running around with a primary. That's just the basic gist of where shotguns are now. Shotguns are just more of a tool if you have somebody closing in on you, say a Res Warlock, and he's about to use Scorch. This will still be an effective tool to ward off enemies, just not necessarily the same tool to go and engage actively, such as using it as a primary weapon. The next thing is about pulse rifles. So I tried 2 pulse rifles today, and for the most part I tried Nerwin's Mercy, and then I tried the Hawksaw. The most important thing to note is the Nerwin's Mercy didn't feel any different. I noticed that in the same range I was shooting with the Hawksaw, I ended up getting 29, and 29 is a crits to the head, and sometimes even with the Hawksaw I was getting down to 25 to 23. Now, the one thing I would like to note is that this update did not have a significant impact on high impact pulse rifles such as the Nerwin's Mercy. The Nerwin's Mercy is kind of weird, and also the Red Death. I would like to note that the Nerwin's Mercy is a little weird. It's a really high fire rate pulse rifle with pretty good amount of impact. But say for the Hawksaw, which has around the same rate of fire but significantly less impact, but I think slightly greater range, but it doesn't have nowhere near as the greatest stability as the Nerwin's Mercy. So essentially with the Nerwin's Mercy, I didn't notice any kind of changes really. My meta practically stayed the same with that gun. I didn't really see any kind of drop off. The only thing I had to do was take down stability a little bit to increase my range slightly. So that's the one thing I'm pretty happy about. Unfortunately, Hawksaw became the meta, and by it becoming the meta, and basically anybody from YouTubers to Twitch streamers to anybody's in trials, the Hawksaw became the meta, and by becoming the meta, it was significantly attacked and expected so by Bungie. And you can't really blame them though. You don't, out of all the guns that you have in the game, you really don't want it boiled down to basically two, which happened with shotguns and a Hawksaw. Basically, the meta in the game was shotgun, Hawksaw, 1,000-yard stare, and the truth. That's essentially what it is right now. Or the Quilm's Terminus, a low fire rate, high impact machine gun. You really don't have much of a diversity and desire for people to like want to expand out of their bubble when this happens all the time anyway. Now to continue on with that, the Hawksaw, this poor thing just got destroyed. I had the Hawksaw with perfect balance and brace frame, counterbalance and base frame. Literally yesterday, this Hawksaw was literally the best pulse rifle you could get in the game, and it effectively was destroyed. This nerf completely and utterly destroyed this gun. It is a murder. If you have a Hawksaw right now, it's not even worth using in Crucible with cap damage. This gun has literally been obliterated. You could probably still use it in PvE if you don't use Red Death or some other better gun, or I don't know. This gun's been destroyed. If you got a Hawksaw, do as I did. I infused it into something better, such as a scout rifle. So that's a pretty good transition. Scout rifles have now become the new meta. I have tried it out. I've tested it, at least beginning today. Scout rifle, minor multi-tool. I can't remember the Almalon. Scout rifle. The current moment I have Firefly on it, and even the Hung Jury in Treads Upon Stars. I even tried that too. These high fire rate scout rifles are literally become the new meta. It only took 4 shots, 2 body shots, 2 headshots to take out a low armored Guardian that I was playing earlier, and that's kind of alarming because now you're going to see a lot of people running, just substituting their Hawksaw for a scout rifle. And anything with high impact, slow firing guns, that is literally going to become the new meta, at least in capped Crucible. It might be a little bit different in Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner, where level advantages are enabled, but for the most part, it is going. Scout rifles are going to be the new meta, and shotguns will still be a part of it too. I did have a lot of fun playing with the scout rifle. I didn't have any trouble finding and getting headshots on targets. And just being able to know that it only takes like 4 shots to land on a Guardian, a pretty low armor Guardian, medium armor Guardian, is very reassuring to know is that you still, for guys who don't want to roll in with auto rifles, that there's still a strat for you, there's still a meta for you outside of just saying equipping hard light or Monte Carlo and then just trying to go wreck shop with that. But essentially that's it, guys. Basically all you need to know is that scout rifles are the star of the show now. And for the most part, there's really nothing much we can do about it till Bungie addresses minor multi-tool, nerfs that, and then we basically end up with a different meta anyway. But don't be afraid to use your shotguns though. Shotguns are still quite important. They're still a great tool to use. The shotgun, you just have to realize that you have to be in closer range now, and just don't run in the open with a shotgun. So you can literally go, and also just make sure to keep in mind that you can still use high impact pulse rifles. Those pulse rifles are still great to use. The villainy might become a little better to use from Future War Code. I will probably try that out later, but Derwin's Mercy is still a great gun to use. Your time to kill on that is still fairly low, such as with a scout rifle. So I'm okay with the update. I'm just looking to engage some Sunbreaker Titans more to see how that nerf's going pretty well. But man, you can tell that Bungie really went after the Hawksaw right now. It is really, they really went after that gun. So thanks for watching, guys. Please drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know what your new meta is if you happen to get around to trying out the new way everything's going now. And it's been QBZ. Thanks for coming out. See you guys later. Bye.